Hello. Okay, so this is a quick sort of show-off of the Brawl Pit and what it is, what you can do in the Brawl Pit, because at the moment, or well, until very recently, it wasn't so special, but it's always been quite an interesting place. For those of you who know Warsim, it's kind of like a mini arena that you can find. So, in the game, there are many places you can go. If you go to explore the realm, you go to the Northern Lands, and then it's the fourth option. You do have to discover these things before you can actually just visit them, but I have unlocked everything on this save. So, here we are. So you arrive at the Brawl Pit, an uninviting building rammed full of angry and violent northerners. There's a large pit in the centre of the room where two men are violently fighting while the crowd screams and shouts. So, we have a bunch of options. You can see one of them is blanked out. The reason that is we don't have a champion for this pit at the moment, because this save was from a simple time before Brawl Pit champions existed. So we've yet to do that. So what we'll do first of all is we'll watch a fight. Now it costs 5 gold to enter to watch any fight. And we've been lucky enough to actually get a fighter with a special sort of perk, if you will. So we've got Fen the Infamous Brawler versus Nizaton the Slappy Wildman. Which is actually quite a stupid name. So Nizaton, or Niziton, whatever the hell you want to call it, he slaps instead of punches. It's a bonus that was added very recently. So you'll see they pull from different sort of move sets. So Fen lands a light punch, Slappy Wellman has a hard slap. Then he gets a critical punch. So criticals come occasionally depending on the luck of the fighter. Some fighters have such crap luck they will basically never go critical. So actually slapping is weaker than punching. So the Wildman doesn't have a chance if we're being real here. And there we go. So Fen is declared winner. So we can bet on a fight. So we've got Yarrick and Ulfberth. So we're going to go for the Northern Warlord. Sounds like a pretty solid title. And I bet 1,000 gold. And Northern Warlord will definitely take it. There we go. Twice my bet. Happy days. So that's that. We can watch a few more fights, see if we can find anyone special. So we've Grizzled and nothing special here. So we'll skip through. I'm just trying to find some of the perks. Cutthroat. Northern. Nope. Let's skip the fight. So you can hold enter down and it just plays to everything. So nothing special here. Frail. Okay, so it's not showing, but this guy should have had a lot higher HP, but his HP has been dropped by the fact that he's showing up as frail. So that's another perk, if you will, though it's more of a negative. And we've got another fight. Rushwood. No special abilities here. Here we go. 2 special abilities here. So we've got Steel Skin and Spike Knuckled. Steel Skin, if you can't guess by the fact that he's got 332 HP, means that they have much higher health points than is naturally possible. The same with Thick Skin, actually. And the other guy, Shally, I don't know how you say that, he's Spike Knuckled. So we'll see if we can get a hit from him. Although this seems pretty one-sided. Holy crap, I've never seen this many one-sided punches before. What? There we go. So this guy has spiky knuckles, if you can notice the graphic there. And that means he does more damage. He missed his opponent, though. Wow. Spike Knuckled Fresh Blood lands a solid punch on the opponent, planting his knuckle spikes in the opponent's face. Watch his health go from 332 to 280. And a critical hit, and the fight is over. That was the most one-sided fight I have ever seen in the Brawl Pit in my entire life. And I made this game. So we're seeing it at first here, folks. Alright, so we've got another one. We've got Thick Skin. Doesn't seem to matter, though, because he's getting his ass kicked. Yeah, okay. So we've seen a bit of it. There's a few perks. There's Slappy. There's Giant Fisted, where they have like the big fists. There's, Lucky, Unlucky. If you can tell, that means more criticals or less criticals. So that's that. We've betted on a fight. We've watched a fight. And now we can speak to patrons of the pit. So, seen an eyeball dislodge once. That was an interesting day. You'd look at me weird if I told you why I come here, but I find it relaxing. I wouldn't fight in the pits if someone paid me 1,000 gold. See the beating some of these men take? Not worth it at all. There are 5 titles that can be won in the pit. Bet you didn't know that. Actually, I forgot about that, and we will talk about that in a moment. So we spoke to patrons. So basically, they're just random people who say random stuff. They're supposed to be like other visitors to the pit, such as yourself. We have the pit owner we can speak to, which we're going to do. So you approach the owner of the Brawl Pit. His name is Carfax. He asks you what you want. Who are you? Already told you my name's Carfax. Yada yada yada. You can ask him questions about the pit, rumours, whatever. You know, he'll tell you everything. And finally, you'll notice the blanked out option there. We've got no current champion, so we need to make one by watching a champion challenge. 2 men will fight. The winner becomes the new champion of the pit. So we've got a man who actually has champion in his name, which is interesting, although he's unlucky, against the cutthroat Freshblood. So we've got Markarth and Gerlad. Gerlad seems to be doing well, though. He must have a higher strength. So Gerlad won. We skipped that there, but it showed his face and said, we have a new champion. So we can speak to him now. You'll notice that option is now revealed. So you approach the current champion of the pit. Who are you? I'm Gerlad, the unlucky champion. Champion of the Brawl Pit. Are you lucky? Not at all. I'm very unlucky. So, if you couldn't tell by the name. And so that are you lucky question is just a way of fishing the information from a character as to what their luck stat is. That means he has the lowest possible luck stat because of his perk. And we can look at his stats. So he's actually got a pretty shit battle score. I thought he'd have a lot better one than that, considering the beating he gave to the other fighter. But I'm guessing the other fighter was just terrible. So that's that. Now, there's actually more we can do, but I'm going to pull away from this for a second. And I'm going to do something sketchy. Bear with me. We are going to enable debug mode, and I'm going to declare a special cheat. So we're going to allow for some extra Brawl Pit fights. And this is just to play around with the champion thing. So even though it says we can't do it, we can. So Gerlad, our champion, is now fighting against the rough veteran. And he's won. Wow, that was a long... Okay. And now he's fighting against Samwell, the black market champion. So, let's see how this goes. The champion retains his title. Gerlad is still winning. So if we speak to him now... so normally you're only allowed 1 fight per turn, by the way, guys, but we are cheating. So it shows he has 3 wins now. Now I'm hoping he'll get 5, because something special happens when he does. Yep, Gerlad's kicking the crap out of Ulfric. I'm surprised. I didn't think he had such good stats, but he apparently does. Last fight, Markarth again? Wasn't that the guy you fought to... Strange, I don't know. I guess he did kill him, so... here we go. So, the champion retains his title. Gerlad, the unlucky champion, is still the champion of the Brawl Pit. Gerlad, the unlucky champion, has earned the Iron Ball trophy for winning 5 fights. So there's actually 5 different trophies you can win. There's 5 fights, 10 fights, 25, 50, and 100 fights. 100 fights is an actual crown, which the fighter will wear from then on out. But as soon as they die, they lose all the titles, and the next guy starts from 0 or 1 or whatever. So, I mean, we can skip this really quickly and see if Gerlad can win. He's doing quite well, to be fair. So if he wins 1 more, he's going to win this fight. Here we go. He retains his championship, and Gerlad, the unlucky champion, has earned the Silver Cup trophy for winning 10 fights. So now, if we actually speak to him, we have the option to view his trophies. We could have done that earlier, but just we've got 2 now. So show me your trophies. We've got the Iron Bowl and the Silver Cup. So how cool is that? So that's that. Beyond that, we have the ability to speak to the pit owner and actually buy the Brawl Pit. Now this changes everything. So we are now the owners of the pit. It is our Brawl Pit. So we have the option to arrange fights via the roster, hire local brawlers. There's more options now when we speak to the champion, and we can upgrade and demolish the pit. So it's a lot different. So we're not going to demolish it, we can upgrade it. So the way this works, you pay 10 grand and you increase either the size or the decor. The size increases the number of fights per turn and the buzz that happens in the fights, and the decor increases the amount of buzz that happens in the fights by quite a lot. So I'll explain that in a moment. But the graphic is completely randomly generated, or not randomly generated, but it's made along with what you choose. So if we choose decor first, you can mix them in any way you want. I think there's 8 possible different graphics at any time, depending on which you choose at which time. So this is like the final graphic for both upgraded, but you can have one where there's 2 upgrades to the pit and 1 to the decor or whatever, I don't know. So that's all done. So now we can speak to the current champion. We have the option to actually vacate his position and kick him out, because we own the place. We can hire local brawlers. So there's quite a lot of people right now who want to be part of the pit. We can also view the roster. Who have we got at the moment? We have 5 warriors, 11 brutes, and 23 brawlers. So what you'll notice is when you own the pit and you arrange fights yourself, the type of unit the fights changes. Now we just get brawlers and brutes. These are like your own specific fighters instead of random people. So We can arrange 10 fights per turn currently because of it's before the upgrade went through properly. So we've got brawlers, and we'll put a brawler against a brawler. So we've got a dirty one against the black market one. See how that fight goes. Now, the longer the fight goes on, the better. The longer the fight goes on, the more of a buzz it builds up. The bigger the buzz, the more the crowd's at it, the more money you stand to make. So this fight was okay. So the fight was intense and drew a large crowd. I earned 107. This is actually quite good for a small fight. I lost 8 gold to winning bets, which is surprisingly low. Now, each fighter has to be paid for fighting. So the loser gets 10 gold, the winner gets 15, because they're brawlers. If they were higher level fighters, they would get more money. I think it's 20 and 25 and 30 and 35. I'm not entirely sure. So my total earnings after bets and sort of pay is 137 gold. Let's do it again. We'll arrange a fight between 2 brutes this time. So we've got a thick skin against a rough brute. It's a pretty short fight. Fight was great, drawing in many spectators. So there we go. So the winner gets 30 and the loser gets 20. Okay. So the brutes level then is 20 and 30. The brawlers level is 10 and 15. And finally, let's discover the warriors numbers. 30 and 45. So yeah, the bigger the fighters are, the more you tend to get, but the fights need to go on for a while. So we can put 2 people against each other. We'll put the weakest unit against the hardest unit, so brawlers against warriors. But the brawler has quite a good stat of health, so it might go on for longer than it should have. So yeah, the brawler still gets his 10 gold because he's a weaker fighter on a lower payroll. I suppose it's a good way to make money. And if we don't do these fights, it says we've got 6 remaining. We can arrange a certain amount per turn. Obviously, you can't exhaust all of your men. If we run out of these, that's fine. If we leave any, they automatically get simulated, and you get the money anyway at the end of the turn. So we're going to do that. But I'm actually looking for a death. So I'm going to keep skipping this until we get someone who dies, because I want someone to die. Here we go. So when you put mismatched fighters against each other, sometimes, basically what happens is each punch drops the opponent's health. When an opponent's health is dropped beyond a certain point of 0, they're actually dead. Like if it's like 10 points below 0, then they're just beaten. But if it's, I think, 25 below 0, like a critical hit or a really hard punch can do that. So fighters that are really strong can actually kill people with punches. It happens. And now I will have 1 less brawler. So there's an unintended consequence of this, but I actually have to pay the family of this guy a fee, which is 3 times whatever the fee would have been, I believe. Or no, that can't be right. So for brawlers, it's 25 for their family. For brutes, it's 50 for their family, and for warriors, it's 75 for their family. So it's quite costly, really, to have them die. So you don't want it to happen. It's the same in gladiatorial Rome. They very rarely actually killed the gladiators because these guys had to be trained and they cost a lot of money. So for them to die was quite expensive for the schools that were training them. So I guess it's similar here. So that's that. So we've got 4 remaining, so we're just going to skip. And let's end our turn. And let's see. Yeah, Brawl Pit runs its events and earns me 258 gold. So that was the remaining 4 fights. And now if we go back, it should reset that cheat we did earlier. So there should be 1 fight left. So we're going to watch the champion, Gerlad. And he retains his title. Actually, that's something I forgot to say as well. There's another feature relevant to the champions. So we're going to enable that cheat again, just so I can show it off, or see if we can get it to occur anyway. There's 2 things we haven't touched on. One is that fighters can run away. So if a fighter's health goes below, I think, 10%, if it's 5 times less than what he started at, there is a very slim chance that he'll actually run away, which is cowardly and which it affects the fights, but it can happen. So that's the one thing. It'll mean you'll lose a troop. You don't have to pay them, but it will affect the buzz of the fight as well, so it's not good. Now, if a grand champion, however, if their health drops below, I think, a certain point, like 10% of what they started with, they will actually have some... Oh, hang on. Looks like Gurlad's getting beaten. Oh, crap. He's getting slaughtered. Rest in peace, Gurlad. The Grand Champion of the Pit has been defeated. Sedwin, the Thick-Skin Warlord, is our new champion. So if we speak to him... Now we notice there's no trophies, because this guy has only won one fight. So look at his stats, actually. Who are you? Yeah, he's got a better battle score and higher health. So, I'm looking for a fight where Sedwin, our new champion, gets his ass kicked. It's not happening, though. There he goes, won a trophy. It's 5 fights. Oh, here we go. Well, if Sedwin manages to win this, we might see it. Oh! Oh, snap. Damn. Here we go. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So, if a champion's health goes to a certain level below max HP, they will actually sustain damage to their max health. And the way I see this, I didn't want champions who were just godlike, who could never be stopped. If they have enough really tough fights that really test their bodies out and weaken them to a point where they're almost near death, they should not be able to just be fresh the next fight. Like, they will be scarred for it. So, for example, this last fight he had has fucked him up. And now his health has dropped from 282 to 267. So next fight, he's got a lower maximum health. And if the same thing happens to him another couple of times, eventually, his health will be very low. And it means that even the best champions will naturally eventually get old and weak, which keeps it fresh. So there you go, he's won another title. We could skip, like, a lot, but he's definitely going to lose this fight. Or maybe not. Damn, it happened again. Okay, let's see if we can go for that next trophy then. We're just going to skip. Unless you find someone who's, like, super strong. What are we looking for now? 25 fights, and we have so far won 16. So we've got another 9 fights to go, if I'm not completely retarded with math. Oh, crap. He's still going? No, I think... Oh, this... Oh, right, yeah, the current champion has Spike Knuckles. So, a Spike Knuckle guy's come in and is just slaughtering everyone because he's using a weapon. Well, I guess it makes it easier. Holy crap. Just gonna skip every fight. So I'm just holding enter whenever the fight happens. Jesus Christ, he just killed a guy with one hit from very high health. Alright, let's have a look. Tell me your stats. 21. So, okay. This is good. What? Holy crap, he killed the guy. Wow, this... Alright, let's watch another fight. Gerald, the Spike Knuckle Brawler, gets a devastating critical hit and kills his opponent. He's killing everyone with his Spike Knuckles. This guy went from 145 HP to nothing. That is ridiculous. Too OP, please nerf. Okay, so now we're seeing a new title we haven't seen. This is the Golden Cup Trophy for winning 25 fights. This is insane. Alright, I will have to look into nerfing this, I think, because this guy is absolutely unstoppable. And he's actually killing everyone he fights. So maybe we'll keep it so that Spike Knuckles are restricted or something. I don't know. But, damn, son. It's pretty fucked up. I mean, we're not going to stay here till 50, are we? Probably not. Maybe we are. Who knows? Tell me your stats. 37. Yeah, let's do it. Alright. If you can survive. I gotta be careful. I hope I don't miss this. 48. 2 more fights. Instant death. And steel skin. Woohoo! Gerald wins the Gold Fist Trophy for winning 50 fights. So, you get the point. Also, if you notice, we've got 19 more we can do this turn now instead of 10 last time we were in this pit because we've upgraded it. So, that is that. This is essentially the full ins and outs of the Brawl Pit and everything they can do in it. Currently, there is, you know, always room for more. And you've seen almost everything except for someone fleeing. But, you know, It's too rare, can't be bothered. So now we're going to demolish the pit. And here we go. So, that was the Brawl Pit, guys. It's one location in one area of one region of 4 in a side feature of the game. So check it out, guys.